All my life, I have felt this weight. Since I was a little girl, from my mother on, I've always felt this weight of, wanting to take care of people in the way that I know that they need, even if they don't ask for it, because I love tremendously. And there is nothing really wrong with that. I think when it becomes problematic is when we take on pain that isn't ours, when we take on weight that is not for us to carry. And when we allow people who just want to be around us because of our energy, because of the benefits it brings them, whether it's economically or how we make them feel or status or whatever the reason, when we allow those people to linger and drain us, but it brings very bad consequences for us, where we're not getting reciprocation, where we are not getting the care that we need, or that our frequency is getting lowered, or our lives start getting messed up because we are dealing with that person, place, or thing, and we become unhappy or confused, lost, angered, rageful, even. Today's word is happiness is someone taking care of me just as much as I take care of everyone else. All praise to the Most High God. Love to the Mother. For real, y'all. I am a different version of myself now, y'all. I let people know who are close to me. Just because I'm strong doesn't mean that I don't need taken care of. And if I feel that the people around me who I take care of, or the place that I work, or anybody in my life isn't rising to that occasion, I will vocalize my dissatisfaction. I will share my needs. My daughters already know, like, if I'm going to be running you around, doing everything that you need, getting what you need, then I need you to do what you're supposed to do, which is to focus on yourself, focus on your studies, and help around the house with your chores, with the boys. I have two teenage daughters getting ready for college. Be focused on going to college and let mom deal with adult things, because you got to focus on your studies. Like, reciprocal, give and take. I make sure I was not always this way, y'all. I just would do things. I would just do things to make people happy. I would just take care of people just because I wanted to. It makes me happy, It makes me happy to do that. But then it becomes silly when you get so burnt out and you feel so heavy and you trying to solve everyone's problem that you stop and look and realize that yourself is a whole hot mess. Whether you're sick or whether you're not doing mentally well, or if you're not happy, or you're always tired, or you're overwhelmed, you're trying to be a super mom, trying to be a super homemaker, trying to be a super wife or a super girlfriend or superman. Like, we can't do it all. That's why we have a village and community, and everyone has a role to play. And not everyone's role is to lead. I think that everyone can be a leader in certain respects, and in other respects, be a contributor and a collaborator. But that is an ecosystem based on principles and values and rules, if you want, for your own community or your own household or your own family. But that has to be communicated. Because what ends up happening is, if people don't openly talk or express how they feel, even if they're doing it, even if they're suffering underneath the weight of, of whatever they're taking on which a lot of our ancestors have done, especially for indigenous peoples, with women especially, suffered in silence, pain smoldered through. We don't understand that not only is that going to affect ourselves, we are teaching our kids that's how we deal with people. We're teaching them that that is how they should deal with people in their lives, that they should just give and give and give and not expect reciprocation for whatever they need. We are modeling that to them. And then that will then be carried to their children, having a generational impact, y'all. You matter. We matter. The choices we make, the bravery that we have, the courage, because people don't like having these difficult conversations, especially in families, because, if people don't have the emotional intelligence or maturity to have these conversations, then they start arguing and screaming and yelling and fighting and all this other stuff, all this confusion and chaos, versus simply getting to what is the issue at hand, what are your needs, and can you meet them? Or can you at least try? Can you meet me halfway? Even if you can't do it all. And if you can't, and if we're just not in alignment, whether it's a family member, a friend, a lover, a husband, a wife, a child, a boss, then we can agree to go about things differently so that we can ensure that the needs are met in another way. I mean, it just comes down to that, y'all. Somebody told me a long time ago, life really comes down to two fundamental things: what you're deciding to bring closer to you and what you're deciding to release. That way, it's not about you being attached. And I have struggled with this tremendously, y'all. But that you learn how to be able to feel it, to have that empathy, but to not get attached, to feel it, but to not let it tangle you up, to feel it, but to be able to release it and offer help too if people are going through things, right? I'm not saying don't help people. I'm saying just don't get intertwined in the chaos of a burden or a pain that isn't yours. People go through their life journey experiencing the things they do so they can learn from those experiences. And y'all, I have been burned. When I intervened and helped somebody out and they weren't allowed to feel their own karma, it was one of the hardest lessons I have ever learned in my life. And it hurt tremendously. But I'm going to go back to the message now because I went on a detour. But demand that people tend to you the way that you need to, even if you're strong. If you're the strongest one in the household holding it down, people especially need to tend to your needs. They shouldn't keep stacking to you. They shouldn't just keep on asking and demanding and then giving you a hard time too. Parents, they have to do their part to make you happy because your happiness matters too. I hope that this message is helpful. I hope that it resonates with whoever is watching. If you made it this far, the one thing I can say to you to do is, if there is someone or something where in your heart of your heart, they're not making you happy, that you feel like they could be doing more and they're not, to just think tonight about it. Don't do anything. Think and reflect first. Pray about it. Meditate. Ask yourself how you can address it before you go to sleep or in the morning right when you wake up, and see what you hear back. Just do that one thing to begin with. And then you should receive the guidance that you need to decide if you really need to have that conversation moving forward, because you deserve it. All right, y'all. Shalane Tukai. Peace.